Okay, so we're up and running, and we are looking this evening at the newly released or early released Boeing B-17 from Microprose for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. First of all, we'll start as we typically do with a look around the aircraft with the drone camera and see how well modelled it is. So I think you can see straight away it's pretty spectacular. So we're parked on the ground at head corn. This is the Orbex rendition, or burning blue head corn. So we're just going to go and have a look around the aeroplane and see how well it's modelled. It comes with several liveries. So as I said, it's early access, and it's very early access if truth be told. I've had a quick look at it earlier today. Obviously I didn't finish work until a little while ago, but you can see the modelling of the structures is fantastic. There's very little in the way of animations or anything like that yet. So, and we'll point some of that out, but I'm not going to be critical about it because it's not finished. And it's a long way from being finished. But what's here already is actually quite good already. So we've got the tail gunner position. So I know the military buffs are going to be all over this, picking it apart with a fine-tooth comb, looking at the hardware that's modelled, and we'll have a good look around it. But yeah, I wouldn't expect too much just yet from it. It's like, yeah, we've got pop-in of various bits and pieces is happening as we get closer to environments or any aeroplane, but it's pretty well modelled. You see there was a person here a moment ago and they've now vanished. But we'll have a look around inside as well. So I'm not sure if that's to do with, yeah, it's to do with distance. Look, when you get too close with the camera, the pilots or the crew are removed. So you can see the full internals are all modelled. It really is quite spectacular in that regard. You wouldn't want to go head on, would you, with anybody? Because the crew in the front of the aeroplane are very exposed. But then these guns are something else, aren't they? Okay, before we go and look around inside, let's go and have a look at the engines. It's pretty well done, isn't it? Not sure that the cowl flaps animate at all yet. I think a lot of this is all static at the moment. But they're off to a good start. Same is true, the wheels don't animate either at the moment, they're just solid lumps. And you can see, yeah, they haven't actually been replaced with decent models yet. I think this is very much the results of a laser scan. So some people that are into military art will be looking at this because this is obviously a real aeroplane and it has some 1940s art on it, which is fantastic. Okay, let's go and jump in through the cockpit and have a look around. So some of it works, enough for us to be able to start the engines and look around. And if we go and have a little look, Just trying to slow the drone camera down even further. So this panel does work, or most of it does, I should say. Most of the instrument panel works already. Obviously the engine starting controls work already, but there's various bits and pieces that don't. So some of the panel here works. I think these panels down, or these controls down here, will work eventually, but a lot of them don't at the moment. And then as we come back down through the aircraft, you can see here's the gunner on the roof, so we can go and move ourselves up through that structure and have a look through the top of the plane and see the view they would have had down through the gun sight. And we can continue and fly straight through the door, as you tend to be able to in Flight Simulator. And here's the bomb bay. And you can see there's the walkway between the bomb racks. So obviously they just drop down the racks and out of the bottom of the aeroplane. So if we come down here and have a look. So I have none of this is animated yet as far as I'm aware. So I think a lot of that will be coming. Okay, so then we can carry on through the doorway. We have a navigation station, so radio operator. And further through to the back half of the fuselage where the gun emplacements are. So if we go and look outside, you'll see the plexiglass there. Let's have a look at the modelling of the guns. It's pretty good, isn't it? The figures are good as well. There's a generator. There's the tail wheel, obviously. And then if you climb all the way down through here, there's obviously a crawl space that you can get through here, look. And then you would come through here, and there's further crawl space, and you've got the final position in the rear of the fuselage where the tail gunner sits. Show a close look at the figure. They're pretty good, aren't they? And obviously there you get the tail gun and the sight for it. Okay, shall we go and fire it up? So I'm using a drone cam at the moment. Let's go and press Shift and X, which will put us back in the normal cockpit. And I'm going to struggle to get around the airplane. There is a clipboard. It doesn't appear to work to interact with anything just yet, but it's got some various states on it. We're not going to use that. We'll fumble our way around the cockpit and get the airplane running by hook or by crook. So we've got the batteries down the bottom. Then we've got inverters, which we can go to normal. And then we've got generators. We're going to go and put them on now. So these are the various lights and bells around the place. So having done that, we're going to come over to this side. Actually, let's go and have a look at the switches for the engines. So we've got the fuel shutoff valves, which appear to be open already. Boost pump valves, so we're going to turn them on. Obviously we're not following proper procedures, but I don't think it's been implemented that cleverly just yet. Oops. So cowl flaps, will need them open, so I'm presuming it's that way to open them. And then magnetos don't appear to have been implemented properly yet because it's not obvious which way this is turning. So I think that's both with the handles facing away. And then over here we can then go, if you look carefully at the panel, you've got up for engine 1 start. Now obviously that's not going to work because I have not played around with the mixtures yet. So we've got engine mixture 1 there. So it is rich at this end. 2, 3, 4. And we've got the throttles over here, so we'll crack the throttles open and let's just see how we get on. So you just need to give it a little bit of throttle. And then engine number 2. Engine number 3. So I'm playing around with the throttle to give it enough. And then engine number 4. Okay, we have some engines. What about flap movement? Let's go and have a look. So yep, flaps work. They're quite slow. So I'll move them to takeoff position. You can see there's a fault in the 3D there. We can see through the body. Okay, head tracking on. So okay, so I've just pulled up the propeller speed. That's what we were missing. So as you can see, the wheels aren't animated yet. There's a lot for them still to do. So let's just have a little play with this. So that unlocks the tail wheel. I'm just seeing if we can trick the simulator into letting us turn the aeroplane more easily. Kind of. Because as I said, there's a lot that hasn't been implemented properly yet. Okay, let's just do this. Okay, full throttle. So, engine's back to 75%. There's something making a whining noise. I'm not sure what it is. There's phasing in the sound as well. Yeah, that's appearing and disappearing, isn't it? Depending on the angle we look at it from. There's the airfield. So what about side slipping? So yeah, it side slips really nicely. Okay, let's bring it back in then. Actually, before we do, while we're in the air, let's go and I put some custom views around inside the cockpit. So if we go Alt-1, we can see the view down here. We can still fly while we're down here, which is quite cool. And Alt-2 shows us the bomb bay doors. I'm not sure if we can open them yet. Alt-3, Alt-4, Alt-5, and Alt-6. And then if we press Shift and Space, we're back in the cockpit. That's a good question though for myself, is how do you, let me just trim it out, how do you open the bomb bay doors? That's inoperable. Okay, I have to go and land because dinner is nearly ready here. This is just an exploratory test flight, to be honest. Oh, and I think I've just killed the engines. We're dead stick. Which way's the airfield? We're going to Memphis Bell it. It's over there. So I don't put any flaps down. I wonder if they've simulated yet that I shouldn't be able to put the gear down without any hydraulics. I think we're down. They haven't got anything in the way of sounds, by the sounds of it, on the ground. There we go. So I'm going to have to leave it there, unfortunately, and we'll come back another day and have a proper look. But obviously the plane is in heavy development at the moment. There's lots of things that aren't implemented. But yeah, we'll see how it progresses over the coming weeks. It should be interesting. Okay, anyway, I'm going to leave it there. That was the B-17 from Microprose in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. A nice short flight and a quick look at what they've done so far. Okay, I'll see you again soon.